What is going on, guys? My name is Phamily Shucks and welcome back to another episode of Clash of Clans. This is the final part of our subscriber base review. So to kick things off, we are here with Fat G, level 103 from the clan aDTP, and he is also an elder here. So guys, by far, this is probably the worst base I've ever seen in my life. So that way my eyes do not have to look at this thing any longer, let's just head on to the next base. Alright guys, here we are back with Vorkon, level 66 from the clan Anarchy Army, and he is a Town Hall 8. And overall, I really like this base design, however there just could be some minor tweaks to make it a little bit better. So in terms of wall design, I really like how he uses his walls. First off, he has a funneling technique which he incorporates very nicely. He has his defenses out here, which that way if giants were to come in, they would get lured through this gold mine and then up to the cannon, and then he also has the same thing symmetrically on this side. Another good thing about this base is that he has very nice T-junctions, one right here for example, another one right here, etc., all around his base, which serves great against wall breakers, so that way it's really tough to break into that main core, which he probably wants to prevent because he is trophy pushing. So some tweaks I would make to this base is that I would probably work on the positioning of your splash towers. Now what I mean by this is look down here. On both sides you do a great job of your positioning of your mortars and also your wizard towers. However, when you go up to the top side, I can tell you're trying to keep that same triangular formation going on. However, because these two defenses are on the outside layer, it makes this top side much more weak against troops, because it makes it more accessible for troops to take them out and enter from this top side to your town hall. So how I would fix this is that I'd probably replace this mortar with the gold storage and then the wizard tower with the elixir storage. So what this does is that even though your resources are on the outside, what the storages do is that it provides a great buffer against troops that are coming in from this top side. Now what a buffer means is that because these storages have such high hit points and such high health, it'll take a really long time for troops to take them out. So this benefits your defenses because it'll allow your defenses to target on those troops as they're taking out these storages, which allows them to take them out as quick as possible, especially since you have your wizard tower on the second layer and also your mortar on the second layer, so that way your splash towers can fire upon these infantry troops to take them out as quickly as possible. So on a final note, one major thing I would say is to continue on maxing out your base to Town Hall 8. Now you don't have to max out everything. Majorly walls, I would really recommend you max out all your defenses. You can leave your walls to a minimum of level 7, and also work on your Barbarian King to probably level 8 or 9. That's a good range before you head on to the next Town Hall. Now I can tell you're working on your cannons to level 10, which is good. However, after you're done with your cannons, I would mainly prioritize on the wizard towers because they do a tremendous job against protecting your resources against farming armies and protecting your resources. So I would really focus on your wizard towers after you work on your cannons, and then from there you can work on your air defenses and also your point defenses which are left, like your archer towers. So overall I really like this base. Just continue on maxing them out, and let's just head on to the last and final one. And now for the last and final base, we are here with Tin2, level 96 from the clan Donators Are Us. And at a first glance, this base is kind of strange, but now that I look more into it, there are some really good components to this base. One of them would be the very centralized clan castle, which makes it almost impossible for enemies to lure out before they attack the base. There also are the very separated storages, which do a great job of preventing enemies from taking out a bunch of storages in one sitting. What I mean by this is, if you guys remember that last base review, there was that Town Hall 7 who had all his storages on the inside, but here he has all his storages spread out, which makes it really difficult for farmers to take all of his loot. And then he has great positioning of his mortars, same with the wizard towers, and also his air defenses, which are really centralized to prevent mass drags from any air attacks from coming into his core. And then he has some very interesting funneling techniques going on, mainly on these north and south areas right here. He has the archer towers, the air defenses right here. He probably has some spring traps on each of these ends, which is probably pretty obvious, and maybe some Teslas or giant bombs in these areas right here. And then he also has some really exposed defenses. Now that I look into it, there are some what do you call it? Some positive effects to having your defenses on the outside. And what this does is that if he was to place down any defensive targeting troops such as giants, hogs, or balloons, they would rather go on the outside and go like looped around the base instead of going straight on the inside. So that does a good job of probably preventing or delaying the amount of heavy tanking troops to go into the center to get into his core. And then that's basically it. Let's see if he has anything else. Right here there are some gaps. I'm not sure if that's intentional, probably for the sake of, well, I don't know if this has anything to do with anything, but for the sake of symmetry, probably take that wall out, bring that air defense in, and just close off like you do on this side. And overall, I really like this base. It has some really interesting, what do you call it, these separate compartments right here on the outside filled with archer towers and some mines. Pretty much looks like a hybrid, no, not a hybrid, a transformer base, so that is really interesting. He probably transformed it into a farming base at the moment, farming some gold to level up those walls. But overall, really nice base. Continue to upgrade those expos, and that is basically it. So that basically wraps up this subscriber base review, and I hope you guys all enjoyed. I don't think I'll be posting this weekend because I do have a ton of stuff that's going on right now. Probably I'll try to slip in one Saturday or Sunday, but that's about it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.